Right. Yes, we're in. You went for Marsland in the end.
Yeah,
I thought you'd go for Drogo.
a lot of people do it. Normally throws people for a loop when I swap. But again, Drogo's probably better anyway.
Yeah, it's certainly something to think about, you know. Um, and there's considerations there. Marsland removes field control, right, in
Yep.
favor of devotees, basically. Even though that's
Supplies the
sure,
specific, but yeah,
sure.
basically.
It's the other replacement zone deck, card deck. Cool. Yeah. All right. So the list is in descriptions, guys, but you might need to see it while it's live. Hello, Martin, watching there. Reek. So I'll just run through the list super quick for everybody. We've got Roose Bolton Commander in Starks with Flayed Inside Carstark Loyalists with a unit of Flayed Men in support. The Rickon Osher combo with the Mormont She-Bears Shaggy Dog, like absolute classic 10 points. Cutthroats, and then NCUs we've got Sansa, Arya, and Baelish. And then over onto Slycooper's side, Nathan Lal. If no one knows him, he's often looking for games on Discords. Marsland in Blackguards, Unsullied Swordmasters with the officer, Freedmen, Flayed Men, and he's got the 3 NCUs. He's running the new Missandei, Illyrio, and of course, Barristan Selmy. Cool. Awesome. Roll off for terrain, right?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Oh. There we go. 6.
Roll again.
Oh, 6/6. Whatever. Ridiculous state. 4. To
All
your
you.
1. Oh, me to go first. Okie dokie. Let's have a little think. So I'm placing first terrain, which I don't really like. I quite like the Unsullied officers are going to be difficult to deal with, the Unsullied officer unit. So that's really going to be an application of both Shaggy Dog and probably She-Bears / Flayed Men, and maybe the Cutthroats. I quite like the matchup of my Flayed Men into his Flayed Men. I think I have more support, especially with the Warcry. So I'm just going to straight up start the match with a Weirwood. Go for a Weirwood over here. So it's honed and ready. I'm not as convinced in the honed and ready matchup that I want to hold points, especially against his Blackguard. He has a much better unit than anything I have at holding points. But that being said, I think I can just outfight him because he will get more freedmen, but I can close the gap, make it so freedmen are hard to deploy, and that he can't really just replace swords for the shot. And I think I'm fine at that point. I can control the movement of the game using Arya. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's have a little think. What we got? I'm awfully tempted here to counter the bog placement with a corpse file, which I know sounds really weird. Also thinking some stakes, but stakes I can move around. Stakes it's harder for him to kind of navigate. Split the battlefield up a little bit, potentially. Don't really know. Got me a bit stumped on this one. I might use the wood for the +1 armor against some of his units. That's arguably pretty good as well. But I think a wall to remove the rerolls is going to be very important. The wall is more usable by his Unsullied officers unit, but I can place a wall in quite a passive position here. I'm happy with that. Yeah, let's go for that one there. That wall there.
Corpse pile.
Okay, so there's the corpse pile from him. So he's going to try and negate the defensive bonus here. The Weirwood / wall combo. Now the interesting thing here is that the wall has to be outside of 6, meaning that I can't be defensive while also taking or suffering the impact of the corpse pile. For this game mode, you have to deploy terrain outside of deployment zones.
Okay.
You can come over here until you hit 6, definitely. There you go.
5.
There you go. That's, yeah, you can go a bit closer if you want, but
That's good.
cool. Okay, cool. Okay, let's have a look. Think. So yeah, he obviously deploys that there to kind of counteract the defensiveness there, which actually means I want the other side of the board here. You saw me destroy someone at an event, did you, Fraser? That literally never happened, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Fraser, one day. Okay, yeah, guess roll for deployment. Okay, I get the win. I'll take that side.
Got it.
Could you ready all the terrain and everything? Because I haven't got the UI accessible. Cheers, mate. Cool. And I will deploy the not the flayed man. Let's go for the shaggy dog unit. Where's my flayed man? Borrow these guys for a second. Put them there and put shaggy dog there. So the intent is to have shaggy dog behind a unit that can go in front of it. Yeah.
Yep.
And it can be the cavalry or the infantry would still fit. So shaggy dog there.
Got it.
I will move him fractionally towards the middle of the board rather than just being offside. There you go. There you go. Your deployment.
Blade man. Right in the middle.
Okay, so he's gone for the flameman in the middle. It's kind of an expected drop. I'm going to drop my flameman directly in response to that. Cool. I'll drop my flameman directly opposite.
Freedman.
Mm-hmm.
Check his.
So you want him to be kind of like in a position where you can kind of march.
Yep.
Okay, so you're facing this way, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'll put the she-bears here. Go for there. Actually, no, go back along. I'll go to there. Okay, so he's what's the idea with blowing walls behind other units? Why not just blow them on the line for additional reach? So specifically, Martin, I don't want to give him any information about my deployment. By deploying cavalry or like wolves or like chariots, I typically do with mounts at the back. He deploys his unit. He has literally no idea what I'm going to do in the game. At 6 inches of movement and 18-inch redeploy on round 1, where you don't expect much to happen, you can basically choose where you want to go, setting up for round 2, round 3 impact turns. You're not setting up for a 1-2 transition, so what's the point deploying him on a flank where you make the 2-3 transition on the 2-3 transition much harder to set up. Whereas here, I can set up for any 2-3 transition I potentially want with no cost, and it also reveals no information to him in the deployment phase. You'll notice his free men drop tells me he's going to deploy on that side of the board. Like, I know for a fact that's where he's deploying. I know where his last unit's going, so I can now respond to where his last unit's going before he's even deployed it. By the way, it's going in this gap here. So, cool. I will deploy Roos and the Karstark. Loyalists will go for here. I feel pretty comfortable about this, but I need to win the center. The center is my objective here.
Unsullied will go here.
Wow. I think that's insane. I think that might actually be insane. Okay. Cool. I'll go for the cutthroats over here. Okay. Okay. Cool. I guess draw cards. Now, just out of curiosity, do you play Missandei that you choose the card before drawing or not?
I do it before because I believe it would be an unfair advantage if I was to do it after.
Okay, that's fine. And you've already chosen, yeah?
Yep.
Absolutely fine. I'm happy to play with whatever there. Shuffle, draw 3, and you will get choice of first player or not.
I will take first player.
You'll go first. Good luck.
Same to you. Have fun.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll
he takes
put
first player.
Barristan and Selmy to
So,
swords, or replace the effect with Devotees of the Dragon.
okay, cool.
I'll
So he just
spawn a
deploys
tray
he's got the extra
Freedman.
activation now, which is obviously the threat.
I'll put Barristan and Selmy's
But like,
on your Karstark
I don't feel
Warrior.
like there's any pointless. I don't think there's any point trying to stop that. By taking side of the board, I have a much better position that I can monopolize way more on than this. The straight answer here is going to be Aria onto
Then I'll make a
letters.
tray. And over to you.
Cool. Okay. I assume you're deploying the Freeman over there.
Yep.
You got long range. I'll Aria onto the letters to draw 2.
Yep.
And I'll put a weaken token onto the Flame Man.
Got it.
Your turn.
Missandei will take
So now I don't need to go to
activate
the tactics
Missandei.
board anymore.
Card, I think.
Yeah, I don't play anything.
I'll take horses.
Okay.
Blademan up 5.
Cool. Alrighty then. We will go for Baelish Pass. Your turn. So I'm actually ads activated now, so I can't use the 1-2 transitions to get a good advantage here.
Zap the Cutthroats.
And he's going to go for this play. Okay. Cool. So test on 7 going to 8 for the -1. There's a 7 which I fail for 3. My turn.
Yep.
Sansa onto bags. Heal those 3 back up. Your turn. So now he has to commit something.
Freedmen.
He's going to go for the Freedmen on the flanks here. That's not a big concern to me. He's going to control these objectives. That's fine. I am looking to push down the center and take on the lone Flayed Men, and the Freedmen are actually going to end up blocking Marzelan and the kind of any supporting units coming in. So, especially with the Freedmen deployment on the right-hand side, that's just an activation token now. It's a pass. It's not going to do anything, in my opinion, in the rest of the game. So I can kind of just stay there over there. Cool. I'll activate Roos and I'll move up to here. Your turn.
Activate Marcellin.
Yep.
March.
Sure. Good play from him. He's not taking objectives, which is the right thing to do. I can cancel a Relentless this turn to give me activation advantage. I'm almost tempted to do that, so we'll see. Okay. Coolio. Let's go for Recon 10 forward to here. Activated. Your turn.
Activate Stray Freedman.
Yep.
Up to there.
Okay.
And over to you.
Cool. I'm going to activate the Cutthroats. Move 5 to here. Maybe not. Let's recall them a second. I might have to come slightly further across here. Yeah, we'll go slightly further across actually. No, tell you what, we won't go as far across. We'll actually go further up than I was expecting. Let's go to here. Your turn.
Relentless.
Cool. When you activate Relentless, I will play a Flame Man Has No Secrets using that token to cancel in long range.
Got it.
This is quite important on this turn, I think.
And that order is spent, and I must activate a unit.
Correct, yeah. I think this is quite
I'll
important.
activate here.
It's a bit of a waste of the card,
And no
but
orange.
it's actually more important for what I want to do. Yep. See, the effect here is he can't be as aggressive on this right flank now. He has to play more defensively. So it means he can put himself into long range of the cutthroats, but he's not really putting himself into an aggressive charge position like he was probably setting up to do with the Relentless into a march, positioning himself like here. Okay, cool. All right, start of turn. I want to play Swift Reposition onto Raycon's unit.
Got it.
You happy?
Yep.
Cool. So what I'm measuring here is that if he hangs off the back here, will it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So he will be
Is dirty with that card.
probably in range of the quartz pile if I go the 2 inches forward. So he's actually now no longer got the benefit of the weirwood if he moves forward on the charge. It's risky.
Oh.
But I'll go for it.
Oh, is it my go or your go?
Yeah, I'll do the shift 2 there, and then I have to activate a unit.
Okay.
And I'll activate the shaggiest of dogs.
Oh yeah.
And I will come this way or this way. Where am I interested? This way. We'll come this way. And I'll go 6 forwards to here. And then pivot and move 12. So there will do perfectly. To here. And then I'll just pivot at the end, of course, to just face my own unit. There we go. That's gone. Your turn.
This is bad, but I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
I'm gonna activate the Flademan.
Yep.
Play Warcry.
Okay. Morale test on a 7 because of the corpse pile.
Yep. That's why I thought it was bad.
Failed on 6.
And I will activate the Flademan.
So he fails the Warcry, which means he's probably now not wanting to be nearly as aggressive. So this like 2-inch shift forward, while it seemed silly, is actually, in my opinion, a very good way of claiming more space on the board. My Flamemen are just going to go sit on the middle objective now, and present a massive problem for my opponent to remove. And it's now way more difficult for my opponent to win the center of the board. Now that I have the center of the board, I can basically split his army in half, which I already have done. And it's this right-hand side flank that I'm interested in killing. I have no intention of even touching that left-hand side flank. He has to now get blackguards across a bog into the center of the board. Jesus, he's going to have a nightmare there. So I'm fine with this movement, and it means I can be super aggressive with this Flayed Man use. Okay, my turn.
Yep.
To Flayed Man. Start of turn, I'll use Warcry. Would you like to cancel with Barrison?
I would.
Yeah, cool. It's used, but Barrison's gone. I should say it because otherwise you won't do. Go for it. I'll move the 5 forward with the Flayed Man.
Yep.
And then I will move 10 straight forward to there. And that's the end of the round. No scoring.
Nope.
Okay, I will dump 1 card and draw 1 more.
I'll keep my 1 and draw 2.
Okay, so I dump one of the 2 Northern Frosties just because I think there's not going to be that many attacks where I want it off. I really care about it with the Shaggy Dog for the +2 wounds. That's the only thing I'm really interested in it in this particular round.
Starting
Cool.
your turn, I'd like to play a swift reposition.
Yep, swift reposition, and I want to declare Warcry.
You got it.
Mine is first. I can Warcry the Flayed Men, which I'll do. Warcry onto the Flayed Men.
Yep.
I pass on a 5 because I'm 6. Rick on 5. Weirwood 4. So double tokens to the Flayed Men.
Got it.
And then it's your start turns, the Swift Repo. 2 inches back with that unit.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. My turn, yeah?
Yep.
Baelish onto the swords, but use the letters, draw 2, and put a weakened token onto the Flayed Man. Your turn. Okay, this is a huge. I just happened to draw Whispered Threats.
Letters.
Whispered Threats when you activate Masande.
Flip Masande.
Flip Masande. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm going to be a bit of a dickhead here. I'm going to go to the bags so you can't remove any of the tokens, and use Sansa's replace effect to redraw Whispered Threats. I'll activate Sansa. I'm going to go to the bags, and then I will take Whispered Threats back to hand once the on zone replace. Your turn.
I have a question about Barristan Selmy.
Yes.
So would I have to put his influence on the unit that has the token to stop the card, or would I place it on the unit that you're stopping the effect?
So it's regarding Whispered Threats.
Yes. So would I put that on Unsullied Officer, or would I put that on the Flayed Man to stop that card?
So if so, do you mean when a Flayman has no secrets?
Yep.
Yeah. So if Flayman has no secrets, has the ability. Where is it here? When a unit is targeted by an ability or tactics card. So when you're targeted, I would target you because that's when a unit is targeted. That's when you're targeted. So I still target the unit that's being targeted. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're targeting the unit that's attempting to redeem the effect.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
With a Flayman has no secrets. For the Whispered Threats card, it's I will target your units, and if I target your units for tokens, of course, you could cancel those as well.
Thank you. I'll activate Barristan Selmy.
Go for it, and I will play Whispered Threats, the one I just got back.
And I will put him to... Oh. You could use that to cancel...
It's not cancelling, it's after you've gone on the board and everything, you become vulnerable and panicked.
But you could use the other card to redeem the tokens to cancel Supply Aid too, right?
Potentially, yeah.
And that would be on... Okay, that makes life harder.
The supply aid is used on 2 units. You target the unit that's supplying and target the unit that's getting supplied.
Oh. 2 units with stuff I can't about that.
So this is just
means no relentless.
Just a royal fuck you on the
tactics
just
board means no relentless, period. That's not good for me. I have to use it. I'll take letters.
Sure.
I'll weaken the Flayed Men.
Okay.
And I'll put Barristan. Oh, I suppose you can put your tokens out before
It's
I do Barristan.
if you choose to resolve the zone first, which is drawing the cards and the token, then Whispered Threats would go before Barristan. You can choose to resolve Barristan first, which would then happen before you draw the cards and the token. Not like I think it would affect you in this case. And then Whispered Threats would come down, meaning I can't target the Barristan unit, otherwise you can cancel those tokens on with Barry.
Put it on to... I'll put Barristan... I'll do Barristan first.
Yep. That's wrong card. There you go.
And I'll put Barristan onto the Swordmasters.
Sure. And then you draw the 2 cards and place the token,
yep.
Which is the weakened. And then I get to put a vulnerable and a panic token onto units that you control.
Yep.
Let's go for a panicked and a vulnerable onto the Unsullied unit.
I'll block it with Barristan.
Cool. Blocks the whole effect. Awesome. Okie dokie. Let's have a little think.
Start of your turn, I'd like to play Blood of the Dragon, if that's all right.
Yeah, I've got no start turns. I want to play. So
Play it on to.
I really. He's gone for Blood of Dragon on Marsland.
They're most likely to die, but they are the best with the card. I'll put it on the Swordmasters.
Okay, that's pretty huge. That's quite important.
No, they're selling.
He's gone for Marsland. Okay,
Marcellin's
so
final answer. Over to you.
cool. Marcellin is, my opinion, the wrong choice. I think he should have gone for the Unsullied. I think he was right there. Because Marcellin is a unit that I don't intend to fight all game. I don't want to fight Marcellin, so you can have this bonus. I don't care. Okay, cool. Let's have a little think. Let's go for. Okay. So it'll be a 2+ to charge you there. Okie dokie. This is insanity of the highest order, right? But, you know, we love a bit of insanity of the highest order.
All the insane people are more fun.
Exactly. Just going to do a double check movement arc here. Ooh, victory points. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Recall that. That's not the play we want to make right now. Let's have a little gander.
Your formation is very aesthetically pleasing.
The most aesthetically pleasing formation you can think of, right?
Nice little steps.
It's chevron, right? Chevron formation. The ducks are flying south for the winter. Okie dokie.
The polar bear's day, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I'm debating a couple of things here. I need to activate something, and I need to do something that's going to be kind of non-consequential. I am very much thinking the Flayed Men activating and just charging his Flayed Men, making a big dent, getting that side of the game going. But I really need to take the horses before that because I don't want him to retreat out and then charge me in the flank or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to take horses with Arya.
Yep.
And when I do so, I'm actually going to move this unit 5 forward to here.
Yep.
And then pivot like so. Oh, okay, maybe not. I have to recall them just so I can get the angle better. I have to come slightly this way. 5 forward. Yeah, maybe it's less than that. I want to be outside of the range of the corpse pile after the move. So I think I'm going to go like that to there. And I think I'm outside of 6 of the corpse pile. I am. Yeah, I'm going to go there with the Mormont She-Bears. Cool. So we'll see what his reaction is now. Give me the +1 for the wood. So the wall.
Warcry's already been used this turn?
Yes, it has. He can give me the +1 for the wall on the Unsullied if he wants, or the no rerolls Flayed Man. I'm not particularly care about any of these targets and any of these charges. He may be panicked and vulnerable with the Dev Impact. I'm 99% sure he's got Supply Aid in hand because he asked the Supply Aid question. Again, I don't really care because I've got Flayed Man. That does mean I can't can't cancel the Relentlesses though, which means he gives a better 2/3 turn.
Activate my Flademan.
Sure. Oof, big moves.
Oh, I thought it was auto, but it looks like it's going to be a 2.
2+.
Yep.
Okay.
Over a corpse pile. Oh, it continues.
There's the one. Oh, that's unlucky.
It
But
is.
it happens,
My
man.
4th in a row. I do
You
love
don't
this.
get
Oh, no pivot. No
you don't get to pivot. Yeah, sorry. And then a panic check at 6.
Okay. Well, they
Yeah,
did something right.
you're fine. I am actually going to make you re-roll the damage, the panic test. Actually, think about this a little bit. Yes, I'll make you when you're testing on a 6. No, I won't. I won't make you re-roll it. It's fine.
Okay.
Cool. And now kill his Flame Man. I've got a lot of activations that can
That
go
was
into
the
this. And
worst
just
charge for me to fail.
absolutely pummel him.
Right in front of 2 things.
Yeah. It's not a good. It's not going to be a fun time. Let's put it like that. I'm going to activate my Flame Men. I'm going to charge you in the front.
Makes
I don't
sense.
think I can get to your flank. Not effectively anyway. I'll just double check some things actually before I 100% commit to it. I can go here and give you my rear, which is, well, maybe flank actually, but you could relentless into the rear and hurt me. I don't really want you to hurt me. Hurting me hurts. Surprise, surprise. Hurting me hurts.
In a good way.
Can you believe that hurting hurts?
I can believe it.
If I go here, I don't touch the bog, so I do have rerolls still.
Yep.
That's quite important. Okie dokie. I'll activate the Flame Man.
Yep.
And I'll charge you in the front.
Got it.
I'm in.
Yep. Huzzah.
Huzzah! I will actually just go here. That's absolutely fine. 7 dice on 3s. All the usuals. Oof, not a great roll to start with, but, you know, rerolls are a thing. And it doesn't really matter because I'm weakened. That's currently 7 hits. Weaken it or not?
I'll weaken all the hits.
Weaken
I'll
all the
probably
hits.
regret this, but
Yeah,
I know
maybe
I
not.
should just go for the 6.
Yeah, so it's only 4. After everything, 4 hits.
Alright.
On 3s.
I can live with that. Vulnerable.
2
Vulnerable?
wounds so far. I'll spend the vulnerable. Yeah, 100%. Nope, just 2 wounds. And then a panic on net. It's going to be net -3, so 9.
Yep.
That's an 8 for 4. So 2 and 4 is 6.
Thank you. I'd like to play Sudden Retreat.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Play Sudden Retreat. Cool. Sudden Retreat's not that important. 5. Yeah, he gets away, but I can kind of. Yeah, I'm fine with this. This is absolutely fine. He's not dead anymore. It means he can do some stuff like, but he can't charge off the text board anyway. So he's just repositioning here, which I think I might get Roos involved to take advantage of that. And I'll pivot like so. To there. Your turn. Do you have any start of turns or anything?
I'd like to play Supply Aid.
Start of turn, supply aid. Cool. And have I got any start of turns? Yeah, I do. I'm going to pop an area token. So you supply aid. Yeah, do you want to target your stuff?
Yep. I'd want to do target this unit, take 3,
Okay.
and hit.
Cool. When you target the flayed men, I'll play a flayed man has no secrets.
Do I still take the wounds? Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is, it's the whole ability. Some people say that you do. I'm happy for you to not take the wounds, to be honest. I don't really know. I'll spend the panic token to do it.
Got it. I'll then put Illyrio to Crowns.
Yep.
Yep.
You're 3. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I meant to do my move 5. Yep. From Aria,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is to go to here. Okay. My activation. You can choose to do a different thing with Illyria if you want to, or you still want to do that. So to you, because that's meant to happen before we do that. All good.
I want that. Yep, all good.
Cool. I'm going to activate this unit.
Still got the thingamajig.
All right. Cool. That clean?
Yeah.
I'm going to activate and declare a charge onto you there. I think I need a 3. I don't think I can make it a 2. I could probably.
I mean, I was gonna say they move 5, right? It looks like you got a 2 there.
You happy with the 2?
Yeah, I'm happy
Okay.
with the 2.
I'll charge at that angle for the 2. And I'll play Devastating Impact for rerolls because I control horses and you'll become panicked and vulnerable if I charge you. Or if I hit you.
Yep.
Yep, I'm in. I will position like here. You're panicked and vulnerable, and then 7 dice on 3. 7 dice on 4s even. With crit blow. And I'll play Northern Ferocity for vicious.
Got
it. So 7 dice on 4s. That's a pretty damn good roll to start off with. There's 1 reroll.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so that's 6 plus 3 for crits, so 9 hits. Oof.
I was right.
No juicy flanks. Nearly had a juicy flank, Brandon.
I guess 9. And vulnerable?
Yes, please.
Got it.
That's 1 wound left, right?
That is, yeah.
1,
8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then a panic, I have vicious, so on an 8.
Dear Lord.
Oh,
oh, dead. Sadness.
Splat.
So much
And then surge forth. 5 to hit. Blood of the Dragon does come on Marsland.
Yep.
And Marsland also gets a token for a dead unit.
Yep.
So yeah. Your turn.
Go ahead and
No juicy thanks there, Brandon, yet, but some
relentless.
a dead unit. I did spend a lot of token play and things like that to go and do this. He is going to get the Relentless and other things here. That this is not a good position for me to end in, but I can take advantage of this with both Shaggy Dog and the Cutthroats coming in down this flank now. I'm going to go pick off that unit of freedmen in the back.
That's good.
I don't think it makes a difference to the charge angles.
No. It's like what you and Carlo talked about yesterday. It's one of those things where I'm making a very precise movement for no reason.
Yeah, it just isn't that important. Okay, I will activate Roos, and I'll come 5 this way. I may have a start of turn. Just want to make you aware of that one, and I'll pivot back Roos to there. Your turn.
Oh.
I have a start. So I have a start turn. Yep.
Got it.
I'll activate the second area.
Got it.
And I'll move this unit 5 forward. To here. And then pivot. Like. Like so.
Activate the Swordmasters.
Yep.
Declare a charge here.
Yep, cool. You're auto in. Okay. And you don't really care that much about rerolls because you get them anyway.
There's only 1 card I could play and it's pointless.
Yes. Yeah. So, what, 7 dice?
8.
Oh, they get 8. Nice. Forget they always have 1 more than... You'll want to be re-rolling then.
Oh, yeah.
That's much more healthy. So 1 wound because you've got precision, and then a following 4 hits. Yeah, not
Yep.
3s. 4 on 4s. 4 blocks. Okay. You also take 3 hits from Counter Strike because I have that
Lord.
from Osha. I took a wound, so I need to take a panic test. Two wounds. And then my panic test, I'm on a base of 6 for the unit, Rickon down to 5, back to 6 for Quartz Pile, so panic on a 6.
Yep. Nice.
Pass. Cool. My turn then, yeah?
Don't like me this game. Yeah, over to you.
Cool. I will activate the Cutthroats.
Yep.
And I can see your freedmen.
Yep.
So I'll charge the freedmen over here.
Got it.
I need a 10, so I need a 5. And I'll charge at this angle. I want to charge at that angle there, maybe. No, I don't want that angle. I want 1 over. Can I get the small pivot? No. Rip. Doesn't work in the way I always want it to.
I almost wish there was like a little ticker you could just click.
Yeah. It would be better, arguably. So I'm going to go for the 5+ charge, and I'm going to go at, ironically, this angle, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need a 5, but I'll go at this angle.
Worst case, you get an objective.
That's a 2, so it's going to be a fail. Worst case was actually not getting the objective, or no. The worst case is actually getting the objective. So I go there, and then I take a panic test with the +1 from the weirwood, but outside of the corpse pile, because it's got to be 6 inches to the wall. So testing on a 6. Pass on a 6.
Nice.
Your turn. The plan with this charge, although it's risky, and I do get the failed panic test here, I just want to stop his freemen walking over. Like, if I can just get in the way, but he can now just walk over. If I charge them, he just retreat out and move. Okay, you can actually move within 6 inches. If you go directly sideways there, you'd get to like, you'd be at a pivot over that 6-inch line. If that's what you were looking to, but charging me is also fine. If you want to charge me.
I'll try and get the thing.
Are you going to go for the 5?
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go there and then just like kick your corner out and you'll be fine. Yeah, there you go. In range.
Cheers.
Cool, my turn.
Yep.
I'll activate Shaggy. This is my last activation, so you're all activating after this basically. And I'll go the 6 to here. And then 12 to here. Oops. That was really intelligent. Go away, Shaggy. There's the 12. And I'll position like so. Shaggy, go back on your base. Oh. There you go. Your turn.
I'll activate.
So I've got nothing left here. The fear keeps
Marcel.
him in. Yes, Martin, you should really get on TTS. It'd be great to have you on TTS.
Oh, I guess not. Well,
I feel very comfortable on this. With the position I've got. You notice I'm not trying to score lots of points. I'm just trying to stop him from scoring points while I kill him. And his unit's still split. My Roos is going to stare off with Marsland all game. It's not a fight I'm going to take. The Flayed Men are going to come over here and support the Unsullied with Grey, with Shaggy coming in the rear. And the Freemen are just going to die to the Cutthroats. So these 2 units over here are basically dead already. He's probably going to open swords with Missandei's second card, which is Devotee as the Dragon, probably. And that's fine. I don't mind that. I am going to, he's going to barrister that. He's probably going to barrister the Warcry. So that's, yeah, it's fine. It actually reminds me, sorry, it's only a tiny little thing, but it hasn't mattered at all. But when I passed the panic test on the attack here, you should have taken a wound from Stubborn Tenacity.
Oh, you got it.
Completely forgot about that.
No worries.
But nothing's changed, so. And I don't think it would have affected what you do.
Oh, no.
No.
That's round.
At the end of the round, I scored 2 for the middle and the side, and you score 1. Do you want to do shots onto me first, or do you want me to do shots onto you?
I'll do shots onto you.
Cool. What we got? 4 hits.
4.
Non-5s, because the wall doesn't stop arrows.
Somehow.
Okay, two saves. That is lucky. Shots onto you on 3s, and we've got 5 hits. But you, hang on. It's 2, isn't it? You get +1. 3 units dead, you get +1 to hit. Saves, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so just 5. Yeah. On 3s. You don't get your +1 defense until 3 units are dead, so. Just the 1.
Yep.
And I draw 2 more cards, and we go into the next round. Round 3, yeah. I've got to start a turn.
Right.
Happy?
I also have a start a turn.
Yours is first.
I just gotta measure.
Yep.
I'll play a swift reposition.
Swift Repo, okay. 2-inch shift. And I'll play the North Remembers on the Flayman.
Got it.
Them Norths Remembers, man.
It does. It does. I'll activate the Freedman.
Activate the Freedman?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll play Fire and Blood.
Yep. For which one?
Vicious.
For the Vicious, okay. Yep, you're in a 1-inch charge, so. Which I assume you want to do anyway.
I hope I don't roll the 1.
I have no words. I have no words. That's.
Oh. TTS dice are comical sometimes.
TTS dice. It's fine. You hit on 3s now. No, you hit on 4s now, don't you? Because you have hit on 5s normally.
Yeah.
They really hit like wet spoons, but 7 on 4s.
Hey.
Pretty good.
You know what?
5.
I'll take it.
4 minus 2 is 6s, so flat 6s. 1, so 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a panic on base is 6. Rick on 5. Corpse pile 6. Rear 8. Panic on an 8.
Vicious 10.
Vicious 10. That's a fail anyway on 7 for 1 more wound. You did miss with 2 attacks, so 2 hits back onto the Freedman.
Oh dear. Not my poor Freedman. Anything but them.
Not them. 2 wins.
Ow. And over to you.
Over to me, yeah. I will start the turn by using Warcry on that unit. So 6. Pass on 10. And I will put the double token onto. I should probably just put it onto them. Ugh, I don't like it, but it's probably the right play, and that's the annoying thing.
Yes, do it. Kill the Freedman.
Kill the Freedman. So I'll put it onto the Unsullied.
Oh no.
I know, right?
That's not the Freedman.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. I mean, the thing is, I lower your hit value to 3, and your dice by 1 if I kill the Freedman.
Aye.
But I mean, I'm probably not going to kill them anyway. I just lower the amount of damage. Yeah, I'm still going to do this. That's fine. And then I'll activate Aria.
Yep.
I'll take the swords and I'll smack your freedmen with my unit.
No, not the Freedman.
Not the freedmen. 5 dice on 3s because I have all of the things. 1 missing rank. 5 dice on 3s. That's 6 hits.
That's enough to kill him. If he had full health.
Yep, that's a dead freedman. I don't score any victory points, but they're gone, which is the important thing.
No more gang up.
Indeed, no more gang up. Your turn.
I will go.
There's just no going back to what was once. Yes, indeed, Martin. Once you start the TTS journey, it's hard to ever really get rid of it.
Where to use both RA tokens?
So yeah, I'm trading Rick on away, which is a 2 VP swing, but I am going to bring the Flameman across straight away.
Worried?
If he doesn't attack
That's
now,
just gonna be what it is.
I'm gonna
I'll
smack it. Okay,
activate
I'm gonna smack it.
Masande, take bags.
Yep.
Heal 3,
Yep.
and
The vulnerable token.
Yep.
Okie dokie then. I am going to activate the flayed men.
Yep. Big ouchies.
5. So here, into a charge. I'm auto in.
Yep.
Yep. I don't get any rerolls anyway, so it's kind of academic. I have to go here. Oh god. So I have to go here. I can't. I have to go here. I can't. I have to go there. I can't. So I can opt to go closest because it is legal. So I'll go as close as I can to the center, which is there.
Yep.
Yep. I'm activated. 7 dice, no rerolls.
That beautiful crit blow, though.
Yeah, man. It's all about them crit blows. Okay, so that's a stately 5 with a crit, so 6. 6 hits on 5s.
Force? Or the
Flank.
Sundering?
Flank.
Oh, sorry. These aren't flayed men. I'm
These are
brain
not
dead.
flaymen. 5. Would you go down fighting, you do a wound. Who do you want to do it to?
I'll do it to the she-bears.
Cool. And then a panic on minus, so you're 4 base?
Yeah.
Minus
Be like
4,
on-
I think. That's actually a pass. So 4 minus 4 is 8, right? Yeah, so you're 4 morale. And you're minus 1 for flank. 3 more for me. And another 1 for the corpse pile, actually, so you're minus 5. But you're 4 morale. So it's still a pass on a 9. I'll re-roll just the 5, please.
5? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Just the 5 from the panic token. Yeah, 4 wounds.
And 1 more on the she-bears.
Yep. We'll play
See if we
Fear.
get to-
Fear keeps a man alive, which allows a
Yep.
Bolton unit in long range, which is going to be the Cutthroats to heal 2.
I never realized it had that extra line for the Boltons. Bolton
Yeah, it has to
specific.
be friendly Bolton. But it could be any number of Boltons, so you can mass heal. But yeah, I can't heal Brickon's unit. Okay, so the obvious thing to do here for me, in my opinion, is that you should be looking to
What do I do?
Relentless and just kill me. If he doesn't kill me here, I will probably just kill him. Or at least I'm going to try and kill him.
I'd like to play a sudden retreat.
Sure, you can sudden retreat here, yeah. Second sudden retreat coming out, which is actually really useful for him. He's not engaged
Oh
with the frontman
no,
anymore.
this might be very stupid. I may have just given you a way to charge block me. Go here.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. Let's see if I can do some really dumb extreme pivots. I mean, there's no possible way I can charge block you with this unit because I'd have to go something like there with them. So you're still in my front arc. And then the Flaymen wouldn't even cross the center line, never mind the fact I'm inside my own unit. So I don't think a charge block is actually possible.
Okay.
So I'm much better off if I just go, here is my front, here is my front. And I'll go for that and that on the 2 pivots. Your turn. No, not your turn. Yeah, your turn now. It's your activation.
I'll try it. I'll activate, charge you.
Oh well, it doesn't matter, Matthew. Yeah, sure, go for it. Yep, you're in. It doesn't really matter on the rerolls and stuff. You've got no cards in hand anyway.
Yep.
Nah, I'm sad. He might overrun here. I don't really care.
On 3s. It's enough. It's enough. I could do it.
Yeah, 6 on 3s with rerolls. 6 hits so far. You got rerolls if you want them.
I'll take the 6 hits.
Cool. So you don't save for anything in the back. 4s for me. There's 3. So I lose Osha. And then a panic on 6 morale, because I'm 6 plus 1 minus 1. I pass. So you take a wound.
Nice. Hey, I'll take you with me.
I'll take you with me. Cool. So my turn.
Yep.
I'll activate Littlefinger.
Yep.
I'll take the crowns, and I'll do a retreat with this unit, with horses. 1. Boop. So there.
Oh, I won't take you with me.
And then
Dang,
pivot
retreat.
around to face the other way. Your turn.
Activate the Freedman.
Sure.
Charge your cutthroats.
Charge the cutthroats. Okay, you're in my front, I believe, right? Yes, you are.
Yep.
You're in. The key here is attack with the cutthroats.
Don't count that.
I
I don't know how I managed.
Because I actually wanted to fail the
die
panic
thing while
test,
I was
not
spawning them.
die to the hits.
Oh, these are on 5.
Yes. Yep, so 2.
2.
And I'm saving on 5s because of no wall or anything like that. Flat saves on 5s. Yes, all good.
Yep.
No, 1 wound. And actually, you do heal 1 for the failed panic test. Sorry, past panic test. I don't have Osha. Osha died, so you get that wound back. Sorry. And then morale check on a 6 again. So 7 plus 1 for the weirwood 6. Pass. Cool. Ace. Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney at law.
I mean, we could probably call the game here if you want to get another one or do something else. Because I definitely know there's no way to come back from here.
There may have been little things. But yeah, it's up to you. I don't mind. I can run you through what I'm going to do now anyway. We'll play the round out. We'll play the round out because we should play the round out. I never like. It's different if it's like. Yeah, it's different if it's like there's one activation at the start of the round where if something happens, it's definitely game over. Mid round, I'm never a fan of. I do agree though that you making this decision, if it was like a tournament game, I think that would be the right call. But just so you can see what's going to happen. Because you have got Relentless, you still have Marzelin, there are still options for you, I think, personally.
I can charge block the Flademan for next go, maybe, but these guys will move.
Yeah, so the actual biggest problem is, like, I have to do a certain set of plays, I think, and it gives you some options. It depends on whether or not you take those options.
Okay.
So yeah, the best thing for me to do, I think, is activate Shaggy.
Yep.
Move the 6 to here. I can probably cut the corner a little bit finer, so I'm more like there. Because by the time I pivot, I'll pivot off the Flademan.
Yep.
And then pivot.
It's a good trick.
So I probably end about there. I might need to be a little bit further back, so I'll just fractionally further back, but I don't think it changes the charge number of needing a 2.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Did it.
I'll go here. And then it's 3 dice. 4 dice for Shaggy. Sundering, flank, vicious. 4 dice on 3s. No rerolls because I charge across the corpse pile. 3 hits. 6s. Yep.
There's a chance they don't die. Wow. Okay.
1 wound. Panic is on a 4. Flank 5. Vicious 7. Corpse pile 8. That's a dead unit, and I take a wound for it.
Yep.
Now that's definitely game.
Yeah.
So the option I thought you had, like in my opinion, which is like a really, like, I think the most important option you could take,
Yeah.
was you activated and charged with the Freedman, and it's fine, but like I could probably just hit you and kill you anyway.
Yeah.
If I don't care because I'll just kill you next turn. Um, I would have used the horses to maneuver this unit to here, unactivated, meaning you threaten Rickon here. Um, Meaning that if I do kill your I should probably just kill your swordsman anyway. But actually now it's a lot harder it's a much more difficult decision because I can then move Rickon away, which is a thing I may be charged with Roos. But it gives you the last tactics board for letters and token with Barristan. Or even Illyrio replacing the zone, healing up the swordsman. So you actually move yourself into a position where the board state I think is probably better for you. So it comes down to I have to make a decision on how to make the board state not worse for me, like we discussed yesterday on Tourney Ground. That being said, like if we were having the conversation of what's going to happen this game, is you're almost certainly not going to recover the game. The Flayed Men, I won the Flayed Men battle, and then it's kind of game over.
That was rough. I can't. I thought it was auto. I may have moved them wrong or something, but that was really bad. I know. Should I have not charged there? Should I have just moved?
I didn't think the charge was incorrect necessarily. I thought it was a little hasty.
Okay.
The key to your list, in my opinion, the key to your list doing so well is that you have your 3 NCUs. Perfect.
Yep.
You can effectively force a bit of a tactics board rush at the start of the round. The first 4 spaces or the first 3 spaces are going to go quickly. And then, you as is always the case, kind of like you can then go, well, I'll pass with my second, and then I don't have to rush to the board. There are 2 open slots. I can think about what I want to do, zone replaces, all those kind of things still in the game. You can do something similar like with Illyrio. So you probably do it with Illyrio, you pass with Missandei, and you do Illyrio Barristan, which is kind of what you did anyway. But then, I think the crucial one for you is you have 2 pass tokens on the board in the forms of the Freedman.
Yeah, I did not utilize those correctly this game, I don't think.
Yeah, unless something is happening, those should be your next kind of thoughts, in my opinion, of like, I'm just going to reposition them and put them like here, which might be useful on the next round.
Yeah.
You don't care that much if they get killed. You definitely don't care that much if they eat a charge and they survive. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
You don't care if they eat a charge and then I retreat off and I'm like, haha, I'm like 7 inches away because you're like, I'll take that charge. I'll take a charge like that. That's a 3+, and there's a good chance I might like just eat you. If I do get into combat, so it's worth probably the risk. Like in my opinion, it's worth the risk. But also, like that Flayed Men charge into me. Yes, it's dangerous. It has threat, but I'm not vulnerable and panicked.
Yeah,
and if I'm not
true.
vulnerable and panicked, the chances are the 3+ armor just saves enough wounds. I've also got the +1 from the Weirwood, which I was in range of. Whereas you would have been +1 of the Weirwood and the Corpse Pile, which were my positioning. So you're not. I'm fighting on morale 6, going down to 5.
I'm fighting on 7.
You're fighting on a 7. Or actually, you're fighting on a 6, right?
Yeah. I'm fighting on a 6, but I'm going to be getting hit on a 9.
Yes, exactly. And, if I'm coming into the flank and you're engaged with the Flayed Men, all of a sudden that test is worse. I'm weakened. My attack back in the Flayed Men is not good. You don't know what cards I've got in hand. As it turns out, Fear that keeps a man alive, I was absolutely fine with you engaging because I'm just going to go, I'll just heal my own Flayed Men.
Yeah.
And it forces you almost into a take swords first next round, which you kind of want to do in Marsland anyway. But it forces you into that play, in my opinion. And it makes it a lot harder to get out of jail.
Yeah, it does. So I think that entire again, I should have learned from last night where I did something similar, but that charge was just overall not worth it.
I guess the question I would ask, going back to if we talk about like analysis of a game move or something, I would argue, what was the charge designed to achieve?
To take away your charge into me. But
Right.
thinking back on it, it wasn't worth it because you were weakened anyway. Had you charged me, you would have landed. Had you charged my flayed men, you would have ended on the corpse pile, weakened, so I could stop just the crit blow hits if I was being smart.
Yeah. You the
And
the chances are, because it's a panic on a 9, then and then the corpse pile a panic on a 10, and you're panic tokened, the chances are you'll fail the panic, and you'll probably be failing the panic for, let's assume, 3 to 4 wounds, because I'm going to reroll any ones.
yeah,
So the panic is probably nearly going to kill you, a rank off you.
yeah,
But my hits are probably so low through the 3+. Sure, you're vulnerable. Like, I might only do, and you saw the charge I actually did in the end. I only actually generated 4 hits, and then you saved half of them, so you took 2. Maximum panic fail takes you to a 6. 6
yeah,
wounds taken from the charge is, you'd like it to be 5, but maybe it is 5 without the rerolls. Um, and then all of a sudden things are a lot nicer for you,
yeah. And I
because you
still
can
had
open
that sudden
swords.
retreat there too.
Yeah, and you had the sudden retreat, and that's huge because my positioning, unless I position directly, like if we just grab this unit here for a second, my positioning would have been basically here. You also still had Relentless, and you still had a charge, and you could have seen me. So you could have probably just gone, sod it, in I go, and then I'll Relentless to hit you again, and you kind of, my flayed men become the fulcrum of the fight,
Yeah.
which is fine for you. Like,
Yes.
rather than my flayed men becoming the fulcrum of the fight, which is really good for me.
Yes.
Um, over here, the other criticism, I think, and I kind of said it in to chat earlier on in the game, maybe you basically decided on round 1 that you would split your force.
Yep.
I had
Should have consolidated.
no intention of this unit being in the game.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So we just played a game, and sure, my Roost cast out loyalists did nothing. They were just going to walk onto the middle point in the last round.
But a larger total portion of your list was active compared to mine.
Yes, and my Roos unit was providing somewhat of a threat in that I could maybe, you couldn't bring Marsland into the flank of the flayed men because Roos could come and kill you.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, my 5-point unit is now staring down your 6-point unit, and you've also got a unit of freedmen over there that you open round 3 with a charge with the freedmen,
Yep.
which may or may not be the right thing because you've got swords open. It's dubious. I was almost definitely going to be war crying into a charge with the flaymen into your flank because I want that in IP on you as early as I can.
Yes.
So you could swords play the second devotee of the dragon, which you've got from Missandei, and
Yep.
just put a freedman on the outside of my she bears to kind of just sit there and go, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because I will charge you with this, and it will hurt. I'm in your flank. I've got the other one that can come into the rear as well. My freedmen might just kill you, even if you kill my unsullied.
Yep.
That was one option I think you had available, but I don't know. I don't really know. I didn't think too much about things after that, really.
I definitely agree. I think it was a poor choice for me splitting up like that, especially given what you said about Marcel, and I probably should have put him more like here,
Mhm.
and then maybe put the sword masters over here and the flayed men here, or the
Yeah,
flayed men here and sword masters here.
it's interesting. So you're like, if we go back to round 1, like
Yeah.
you kind of said it at the time, right? And I'm just, this is really approximating here. It's something like that there because I wouldn't have been on the token, or maybe I would have been actually. Where are we? 15 up from the center, so 10 and 5.
Yeah.
should put me just over it actually, because it's 15 plus 10 is 25, so should be controlling it. So I end the round like this. Shaggy doesn't really matter, but it's about there. Those guys are slightly behind. Shaggy's over here, right? Something like
Yeah.
this, anyway. If you look at the board space I have, this space nobody controls.
Yeah.
But like, you could move into it. That's your movement space, if you will. Because I'm going to find it a lot harder to move into it. But with Aria, I can just be here.
Yes.
So the space I control, in my opinion, is that kind of space that's mine, right? 100%
Yeah.
just mine. Now, you control that side of space and that side of space. So the literal amount of space that we control each, I have more. I have more space. And also, the threat range of the space is that I can threaten here and here. You're threatening the front of my units, sure, but you're threatening the front of any one of them, like any one of these three. And you're threatening them, and the one unit that you want to pick on, which is the weakest, which are these two, are the furthest back. So you have to dive harder to kill the units that are easier to kill.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just go, I don't mind taking a straight up fight with you because I've got two units here that I'm willing to threat and just push.
Yep. Just keep running them in.
Because the threat range on these, because of the crit blow and other things, you don't really want to get within 7 inches of these guys when they're unactivated.
No.
And then you do, and I go, right, now I'm going to kill you.
Especially with Roost, because normally I lean on the supply aid.
Yeah.
For those sorts of things, like if I want to encroach on the space, I know I'm gonna get hit before I can do something.
Yeah.
If I have supply aid up, I feel much more comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But because you have the Warcry plus the card that stops it,
Mhm.
I was much less enthused with that prospect.
I drew the Flayman Has No Secrets to cancel the round 1 Relentless as well. Personally, I like that play because I think it prevents you being aggressive with the Unsullied. It
Yeah.
forces you into this kind of defensive mindset. Oh, I don't have Relentless, so I can't move up the board because I don't get like the move 6 or the move 5 into a charge, which you could have done on these units, taken
Yeah.
the risky charge, and it probably would have paid off. You
Yeah.
not having that makes you go, oh, I'll sit behind the token here. So,
Yeah.
in my view of the game, I am controlling the space by lowering your options, and you think, I want to play safer. And that allows me to set up for a better round 2. I'm not actually that interested in round 2 in engaging with you. I have to engage first because I'm going first. You have more activations, so you're setting up for the round 2 into 3 transition, which is like the perfect thing. That's what you're setting up. I know that you're trying to set that up, so I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you to set it up by trying to ultimately wanting you to come out. Come on, there's a juicy target. Come out of your corner before your best part of the time of the round is. You move out, you get baited out, you come out of that corner, and then it's right. You're no longer playing to your advantage. So now we're playing a game where I can take advantage of you.
Yep.
So
And
that,
then you
yeah,
can take that and lead it into your own transition as well.
yes, and that's where I'm positioning units. Like the flayed men is like a 2+ to charge you over a corpse pile.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that charge because I'm willing to go for that charge. I think if I really want to, especially with the reroll from Dev Impact in hand,
Yeah.
you're less inclined to want to have to take it.
Yep.
But you feel it's necessary to because you're threatened by my charge.
And it was that set of things that prompted me to make that poor choice.
Yeah.
Go and charge there.
And it is, you word it correctly. It's a bad choice. It's a poor choice. But they go back to like the mindset, the thinking. You're thinking that it's an important choice to make, potentially,
Yep.
because you feel threatened.
Yes.
Realistically, as we've discussed, You probably weren't.
Yeah, I wasn't in danger.
Yeah,
I
and
was I was ready for a sudden retreat, and then the
yeah,
sword masters come into the side.
and you can even, not only is it the sudden retreat and the swordmasters come in, but it's the sudden retreat into a charge into the Unsullied, and you can even heal them up with the freedmen and the supply aid. And I go, haha, I cancel your supply aid, and you just go, cool, Illyrio, heal them up anyway.
Yeah.
I can't cancel all of your stuff, and then if I cancel supply aid, I can't cancel relentless. So if you
Yep.
have supply aid, I'm like, I'm gonna have to let you heal the flayed men, because if you can relentless and pull that unit into a double attack in me, that's gonna hurt.
And it would end up being a triple with the transition into swords.
Yes, and that's just 3 attacks with the. That's 3 attacks with the flayed men engaged over a corpse pile, from Unsullied. Like, if you roll any sixes, I'm taking panic tests. I'm taking panic tests with Intim. You may be in my flank. I may pivot to give you my front, but then the flayed men charge is even better. Like, none of these things are good for me.
I also could have kept the war cry from round 1 had I thought more about that plan.
I actually.
Or is that the right play to dump it? Because I think going into round 2, my hand was like that.
I'm unsure on the Warcry. Taking a 6+ to Warcry me, 7 with the corpse pile. Making it a 7 is risky. If it had been a naked flayed men Warcry on 6, I'd have felt fairly comfortable with that, because you Warcrying my flayed men makes me scared. I don't want to engage you anymore across the corpse pile. So you actually, because it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So you actually make me play defensively, which means that me hanging my flayed men here for you to just go, cool, 5 inches charge, I'm like, that's really going to hurt now.
Yeah.
Whereas when you don't set that up, and then you could just go, cool, well, I'll take the no reroll charge across here, I'm like, yeah, cool, man, whatever. I don't care.
It's straight up good for you, actually.
Yeah. I actually didn't care if you'd have charged me there. Like, if you'd have hit me and not rolled the 1 and rolled a 2 or something, I'm probably
It
still
wouldn't have
fine,
mattered.
because I'm saving on a 5, okay, -3, 8. I've got no tokens on me. Like, it's a bad
But I'm
charge.
weakened too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deal enough damage for it to matter enough to you,
Not
and then I'm going to take a huge amount of punishment, and I'm in a bad position on the board.
Yes, and if you do get a lot of damage, it's somewhat lucky. And I'm not going to say it's luck, but like, the chances of doing 6 wounds to me is unlikely. So you're not stripping a VP from me. So all you're doing is hopefully saying, I'm going to set up for a next round. And sometimes I'm like, cool, I don't care. That's next round. I'll deal with that then.
Exactly. Well, and on top of that too, it's like, what are they gonna do next round? I'm
Yeah.
putting all of these resources into getting taking swords for 7 dice on 3s with no rerolls and vicious.
Yep.
Like, it's not nearly a good enough payout for what I was both putting in and risking.
Especially given the Marzal and the Missandei who had devotees.
Yeah.
You
I
you
want to
don't.
slow play.
Yeah, you don't mind playing this slower transition. You don't, I say this defensive position you end up taking. You don't mind that hugely, because you're not forced into making a 2-3 transition, because you can just go, and I'll open with Missandei onto swords, and now I'm out activated heavily. You always get to dictate the pace of the game at that point, and I have to start making plays. I have to start doing something that forces mistakes.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's huge. I mean, what I've kind of taken away so far is that I need to, with this list, make sure I'm deploying more like this in a consolidated fashion, keep Marcellin somewhat closer to the middle, and try and control like that instead of just this.
Yeah, it's the thing is, blackguards are difficult, because blackguards do want to sit an objective over here, right? This is their favorite time to go, woohoo! Basically, free VPs, and I'm unlikely to die, right?
But they also want something else to be engaged with them while they're on an objective. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's the
kind
best
of.
case.
Yeah, especially with Marzelin giving you the bonuses, you don't mind sacrificing a couple of freedmen around to just get Marzelin. We're hitting on 3s, we have Vicious, we're now saving potential on 2s. Like, we're super budget champions of the stag. Like, super budget, like without a cav move.
Yeah.
Like, a lot worse, but they're kind of super budget,
So,
right?
No crit blow, no vuln tokens.
Yeah. So if you position here and just go 8 forward on round 1, like you probably see my round 1 plays are usually very quick and easy.
No.
Because round 1 is, like, I already know what I'm doing round 1 because I deployed to know what I was doing round 1. And then you just go, cool. The flayed men might charge me. I'll save on 3s. This is fine. Does he really want to charge this unit if the flayed men are stood either here or here, who are just willing to go, cool. Now you've charged them, we're coming in to help.
That's maybe that is the right way. Like I start deploying Marcellin in the center here, like you said,
Mhm.
and then I go flayed men, rather enough space for freedmen on one of these two sides. So Marcellin in the middle, second deployment piece would be freedmen on either side, and then a flayed men, and then a
Unsullied.
swordmaster.
Thanks.
And then I could threaten middle of the board, and I could take a point on each side.
I have a controversial opinion on Honed and Ready in that this is the most important objective.
I agree with that controversial opinion.
Yeah. In that if you control this, it allows you to pivot either left or right. And you're getting now free VPs. So you've got, unless you're presenting threats on both sides, my
Yeah.
army can kind of go, cool. Like, eventually what's going to happen is this transitions off and this comes over here.
Yep.
And unless this unit is something aggressive, are you really going to want it? Like, I said it earlier in the game, Marzellan on a move 4 unit coming across a bog, I am more than happy with that.
Yep.
I will stand there all game with Roos and do nothing else because I'm fine with you having to come and do this slog.
Yep.
Um,
I need to make him a problem you have to deal with. Otherwise, you won't deal with him.
yes, every unit. Did you feel there was a single unit on the side of the board that I had that was completely doing nothing?
No, that was another big takeaway I
Yeah.
had watching you play, and the difference I noticed between how I was playing the game and how you were playing the game. Your whole army was moving together, and everything was supporting another piece, and everything had a purpose always. Like you
Mhm,
were generating value off of every single thing that was on the board, and I don't think I was generating value at nearly the same rate with my pieces,
mhm. So
which
that,
from almost completely my own positioning.
yeah, and this is, as a small takeaway for anyone in chat who's still watching. Um, a lot of the game is positioning. Like the game, fighting matters, dice roll matters, right? That whole discussion around dice and luck, it's a
But
thing.
we can't control that. We can
Exactly.
control where our pieces are on the board.
Yes. And the pieces on the board in the positions that they are is completely controllable by you.
Exactly.
Um,
That's how you win games without the chance factor.
yes. And then, and actually what's funny then is the way you view games is you start going, cool, my flayed men are probably going to get 6 hits on the charge, or my she bears are 7 dice with crit. I might get 6 or 7 hits. I'm pretty happy with that. And then I go, lol, I just did 9 hits.
Yeah.
Like, 9 hits is good, not 9 hits is what I expect. So when I roll 5 hits, I'm like, oh, damn, that's unlucky if I was expecting 9. Whereas if I'm
Right.
expecting like 6 or 7 and I roll 5, I'm like, yeah, that's perfectly within the bounds of like normal averages.
Thank you, dice gods, for average.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so my outlook on an average roll ends up being I actually can roll under average and feel that I'm still doing fine.
And you're making your decisions based off of average to slightly below average, so that if you do hit worst case or
Mhm.
just average case, you're getting what you want as opposed to banking on good luck.
Yeah. Like, I'm a bit of an odd one because I've come across, or I've come to start to quite enjoy taking on a 2+ charge. I know that sounds very odd, but
I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized.
yeah, I know, right?
All I want-
You wouldn't want that. But the reason I say it is that against some units, what you care about is the position that the charge gives you, not
Yes.
the damage. And sometimes a 2+ charge, you can kind of look at that and go, if I roll a 1, I don't get rerolls. And if I don't get rerolls, my chance of doing decent damage against the particular unit that I care about, maybe with no tokens, is pretty low. And I don't need to kill them for this to work. All I'm trying to do is just give them something to tie them up.
Yeah.
So actually, I'll take the 2+. Because if I roll the 1 and it's a disorderly charge, I don't care because I'm not engaged. So I don't turn on any of those abilities that I was worried about if my attack was bad. So I'm kind of like sat here being like, I'd rather make a charge on a 2+ than make a charge that's disorderly.
Yeah.
In some cases, and I think that has value.
I agree. I mean, also to the point you said with just making sure that your charge, the positioning off, you're getting value off the position from the charge movement
Yeah.
is huge. I can use like if Marcellin has a legal charge on a 6 to something in the middle of the board, that's fine. I roll the die, and it just means I move +4 instead of moving 4 or 8.
Yeah. Like, same with slow units. It's risky if they're slow and bad morale because, of course, you end up just taking damage, which, morale on certain defensive units is actually the problem. But,
Yeah.
like, in some ways, sometimes, if you can.
Chance on Marcellin wouldn't be terrible on a 6.
Yeah, on a 6, it's like, that's not terrible, right? And if you've got movement 4 unit, morale 4 or 5 units or anything like that, it's like, hey, a 5+ charge, and and here's the big thing. When you declare a charge that's a long way away, and you roll badly, the worst you did was do a maneuver in the direction you wanted to maneuver. The only difference being you didn't get to pivot at the end.
You basically took a +1 movement and a panic test.
Yes. Now here's the big thing. If you roll well but fail to make the charge, you basically just did a march with a pivot beforehand.
Or a plus march too. You might go
Yeah.
like you could potentially go further than they can go on a march.
Yeah, most movement 4 unit could go 9 potentially, which is about the only case. But
Yeah.
even if you're traveling like 8 inches or 7 inches in a direction that you couldn't have traveled 7 inches because it wasn't in march range, but you pivoted like 90 degrees and did like a 7-inch maneuver to the right, it's like, hang on, that wouldn't normally be legal. The only difference being is that you reveal a flank or a rear that you otherwise wouldn't want. So you have to think about the final position if you fail the charge, if you're going to do that. But using a charge as extra movement is not a terrible thing, if you're willing to take the risk.
Thinking about it as a pivot march is a very healthy way to view it, I think.
That's
Definitely makes the whole action more. It's the action itself becomes more of a toolbox thing. Like you can use it for other things other than just charging.
Yes. I do think you can't be sucked into that too much though. Like, it's not super effective. It's not highly effective. But going back to like what the discussion we had yesterday, sometimes like it's a thing that good players know that is an option.
Yes.
And it's not innovative or anything like that. But I think that some players lower down don't think of a charge as that option sometimes.
I didn't until we had this talk.
No.
So
So yeah, that's I do it free folk all the time. Actually, I will gladly, especially because like I'm certainly like Tormund's unit at morale 3. If I'm on a Weirwood, I know that I can't fail the panic test, and sometimes I'm like, sod it, I want to be over there, but over there's out of range. I'm going to declare a 6+ charge on that unit over there, because if I face you, like, there's nothing bad that can come with the final facing, and if I get the 6, lol.
yeah, it's like it's only good.
It's only positives can come of it. But yeah. So yeah, Martin in chat saying charging with blackguards is 7.5 average, and that's 0.5 less than just marching, with a significant upside of either gaining an extra inch or actually making the charge, and of course choosing the direction of the march, which you otherwise wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, it's a huge bonus.
Yeah. But
That's
of course,
definitely something I'm gonna take when I play this list again.
Yeah. Just bearing in mind it is in the toolbox. That doesn't mean it's something you should do a lot. It's just one of those little things that you might opt to do. And if you're talking like morale 4 and 5 units, it's almost worth it. Morale 6, it gets a bit more dubious.
Yeah, but it's an option.
Yeah, it's an option. And And yeah, the other funny thing, of course, it is a panic test. So if you have taken like 1 or 2 wounds and you pass it with something like Dauntless or something, you pass a test. You heal a wound. It ends up actually being a positive net thing in Stannis Queen's Men lists. Stannis OTK lists with the Queen's Men movement 4 should be declaring, in my opinion, should be declaring a 10 plus a 6+ charge because
Yeah,
you're
because
testing on a 4 and you heal 1 if you fail or pass.
it's just total positive. There's
Yeah,
like
like there is nothing really wrong with that outside of moving like 5 inches, which is not really what you want. But
it
yeah,
turns your marches into, oh, I get to move that far, but I don't heal.
yeah. Um,
I did
stuff
want to
like that.
ask your opinion on
Yeah,
in this list I switched Barristan Selmy in for Tycho.
yep.
Do you think I should continue to use Barristan Selmy or should I go back to Tycho? This is
I,
only the first time I've tested it, but
all right, okay. I like Barry. I think Barry's very good. Barry's not very well rated. Barry doesn't win games, but like
I think it's because he has a really low floor and a really high ceiling.
I don't like those terms
There.
when talking about the game, but I kind of agree. I think that there are very much options when it comes to Barry. Like you have to know your opponent's deck well because you have to know what the threats are. Like you Barry round 1, it's like I'll turn off Warcry, and I was like, I wonder. I'm within 12 of the Unsullied anyway. I wonder if I just shift them 2 forward if he's going to stop me. And then I get the
Yep.
Warcry off instead. And you didn't stop me, and I was like, I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, actually, I'm really happy if I get to go 2 inches forward because I'm claiming a little bit more space, meaning I can push the flayed men up to basically 15 inches and not worry.
Yep.
So it was a kind of trade off where you probably did the right thing, but I was still happy. The Barry block onto the Whispered Threats with the Panicked and Vulnerable, I think was a mistake.
Okay.
You're wanting to Barry block to prevent the supply aid. You're wanting to Barry block to prevent the Relentless being switched off.
Yep.
Those are 2 big things. Certainly, the Relentless is like an activation in your list.
Yes.
So having an extra activation is always huge, especially with a unit that's otherwise just a unit of very expensive infantry that's not really doing a huge amount.
Yeah. That's
So, yeah.
very true. It definitely gives the list a lot more utility, I think. But with Taicho, Illyrio, and Supply Aid,
It's hard to kill anything.
yeah, I can be really reckless with the light infantry where I normally
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to.
You could play that style and play a much more aggressive kind of like push them in. The kind of problem you have there is that list falls down in other areas, where if you're not careful, you end up, this is where you've got to kind of play the activation game a little bit, and you end up
Yep.
getting out activated and just kind of getting killed, and they'll get through the healing because eventually it will run out.
Yeah. Eventually it runs out.
Yeah, and you also end up like you can't supply aid from a freedman because they're too far away, and it's like, oh god, I'm gonna have to take them off flayed men, which I really don't want to do.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's really bad for you if you're taking them off flayed men. Like that's terrible news. So yeah.
That was part of why I liked Taicho in the other version of the list because if I ever did find myself outside of that supply aid range, that's when I would pop the Taicho.
The thing with Barry, like it's the eternal discussion. The thing is, Barry's good against some stuff, and Tycho's arguably similar. Like Barry, if you
I'm
think of
not
it as cancelling Final Strike once or twice per game, that's potentially saved you 10 wounds.
Yeah.
Tycho is a save 5 once.
But there's far less expectation on me as a player to do things right when I bring Taicho.
Yeah.
When I bring Barristan, the expectation is on me entirely to use that right, get the
Yes.
value.
Yeah.
Taicho is just like, I bring Taicho, I'm gonna get the most out of Taicho, irregardless of the choices I make, pretty much.
Yeah.
But if I bring Barristan, there's a chance for me to make the wrong choice and not get the value that I want out of him. And then, like you said as
Mhm.
well, it depends on what your opponent has that you're blocking.
Yeah, you have to evaluate, and that comes down to knowing your opponent's list quite well as well. You have to know what you're afraid of. And and Matthew says in chat that sometimes they block one ability and they obviously doesn't. It means he can't block the second one. But
Yes.
then that comes back to the idea of you can't block them all. So sometimes you just have to weigh up and say, this is more important to block.
What I was doing prior, because I'd bring this Marcellan list with the Drogo list I brought
Mhm.
for the challenge. And what I would do is if I think that there's something I need to stop with Barry, I would just take Drogo.
Yeah.
And I have Barry in that list, and then that's got Peter too, so for Martels.
Mhm.
And then against stuff where I want the activation advantage, I would go for Marcellan. Activation advantage and tokens. I'd
Yeah.
go for Marcellan. But I don't know if it's still worth, like, because there's enough stuff that Barry stops that it feels pretty good. And I've found myself picking Drogo only for the reason that I had Barry in the list a few times. So I wanted to know if this gave me more freedom in my selection.
I mean, if we go off rankings now, it's hard with rankings because Tycho's used in a lot of places. His stats ranking is a bit. It's not reflective of him within Targs, right? Whereas Barry obviously is. Tycho's highly rated is the second highest NCU in the game. Barry is negatively rated, and that's partially down to the faction. And the faction's not doing very well as a whole. So Barry getting picked more inside faction will probably be losing more. But like
Yeah.
the direct assumption, if we were to just go off the numbers, you could make the assumption and could say on a basic level of analysis that Tycho's a better option than Barristan at 5.
Yes.
I think a good player, and I think good players would tend to disagree, and I think that's where you can disagree with the data. But as Martin says, Tycho is a lot less headspace, a lot less to think about, and something you don't have to worry about in the same way. So maybe go back to Tycho for a while until you feel more comfortable with the list and how it plays out. Then experiment with the Barry to see if it's an improvement or you think it's worse because you
I'm
think
at
it.
that experimenting stage. I've
Yeah.
played a lot of games with with the Tycho variant of this list,
Mhm.
and I tend to do pretty well with it. But this is the first game I've given a go with
The Barry.
Barristan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, and it doesn't go perhaps as well as you might want it to or expect. So yeah. Cool.
I think I liked him from this game, but I need to try it more.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Yeah.
thank you.
No, thank
Thank
you.
you a lot. The conversation was amazing, and as bad as my dice rolls and some of my choices were, I got a lot out of it. So thank
Hey,
you.
as Carla would say, don't listen to me too much though, because like
He said the same thing when I played him.
yeah, exactly. Um, don't listen to me. What do I know about the game really? Uh,
I don't know, enough to do well. So
I'm not a tile player, man. I'm not a tile player, so just bear that one in mind. All right then.
masochist, I see.
Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. We'll
Anyways, I'll
tune
let
out
you
next
go,
time.
man. Thank you again.
Take it easy, buddy.